Hello, everybody. All right, I'm now live. Perfect. On everything. Okay, I'm getting live on Facebook. Excellent. Okay. Hope you can see me, everybody. I hope you can see me also on Zoom. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am really, really excited about this talk today. So I'm going to be talking about one of the best foods for athletic performance, and it's actually a seasonal staple. It's apples. Oh my gosh. Apples are the best. That's definitely something that I look forward to when the fall comes. I love apple fritters, apple crisp. I put apples in my oatmeal, baked apples, apple anything. I mean, I absolutely love it. And then pumpkin spice as well. So it's really kind of getting into the season. But did you know that because apples are in season, they're at their nutrient peak? So you're getting the most nutrients from them, and that's going to be delivering all of those nutrients to your body. So you're actually going to be recovering better, and you're going to be training better too. So it's perfect, especially if you're a fall athlete as well. Cross country is going on right now. There's plenty of half marathons. Actually, there's going to be the Hartford half and marathon here in Connecticut tomorrow, which is really exciting. So this is a great time for those endurance sports and also hiking and biking and all of those fun things. So you want to really make sure that you're fueling your body still properly, because it's a time to be active. And really in each season, there's activity. So with that in mind, I just want to introduce myself. Well, first of all, welcome to this Zoom session. Welcome to this live today as I'm talking about apples for the best athletic performance. So my name is Drew Mulvey. I'm a certified dietitian nutritionist. I'm a board certified nutrition specialist. I am a certified leap therapist, which is a specific food sensitivity protocol based off of MRT testing. That's mediator release testing. It's 92% accurate and specific. I can tell you right now, it is extremely specific and extremely accurate. And if you go off plan with some of them, you're going to feel it in your body. So it's really, really accurate and really, really sensitive, which is awesome for athletic performance. Any sort of inflammatory conditions, IBS, migraines, eczema, things like that. Definitely, if that sounds like you, get in for a food sensitivity test. I do have that as part of my services. I am a certified personal trainer, which I work in town, and I'm also precision nutrition level 1 coach, which is more holistic nutrition in the sports nutrition realm. All right, so let's get into it. So apples, who else loves apples? Okay, one of my favorite things growing up, all right, I'm going to totally admit this right now. One of my favorite things growing up was the little Quaker Oats instant apple and cinnamon oats. I know that's full of sugar. I don't have that anymore, but I really I make my own now. So what I try to do is I try to cook the apples in the oats and then add a little bit of cinnamon in there. And if I'm feeling I feel like a little sweetness, I put a little like coconut sugar in there too, but I usually don't put any sugar in there. It's sweet enough. Or I'm usually making baked apples. One of my favorite things to make actually is apple crisp. You can use either coconut flour for the topping, or you can use oats as the topping, which one of the recipes that we're going to make today, you read that right. Those that are on Instagram, apple pancakes, yay, with oat flour. So why are apples so beneficial? Well, first of all, traditional Chinese medicine says that apples are very cleansing to the liver, and they are very cleansing for the liver. They really help to build up the liver. Plus, fall is a great time for liver detoxification and to go on to a detox. So what exactly does that entail? Well, it could be taking certain things out of your body and then putting certain things in so that you're really pushing those toxins out. It decreases inflammation. So if you're feeling lethargic at all, brain fog, bloating, gas, the whole kit and caboodle, then a detox would be great for you, because we're taking away those things from everything those really heavy foods that we were enjoying in the summertime, and then just detoxing a lot of that stuff out so that you're going into your new season. And as I was mentioning before, fall is also a time of letting go. So you're letting go of those toxins. The better you are detoxing, the lower the inflammation that you're going to have, the better recovery and better training that you have too. So apples are going to be very, very important for that. But apples also have a lot of other compounds in them that are extremely beneficial for you. So they have compounds that really help to, well, antioxidants are one in particular, and those really help to decrease any sort of inflammation. Except actually they contain several different antioxidants. They contain proanthocyanins, which aid in that liver clearing your body of any sort of cancerous compounds. It's very important for, get this, quercetin. So there was a recent article that I was reading in Elite Athletes that they were supplemented about 500 milligrams of quercetin versus resveratrol, and quercetin actually helped them to recover and actually help them with better training. So incorporating those apples in there are really going to be beneficial for decreasing the inflammation as well as helping you out with your recovery as well. Actually, I'm going to read the results from this particular controlled trial. So from this controlled trial, female athletes supplemented with, as I said, 500 milligrams of quercetin for 1 week demonstrated a reduction in lactic acid levels and an improvement in times in their training times. So very important, quercetin is going to be a great antioxidant that you can add in. I would probably recommend it after your workout, not so much before your workout. So apples, you can have a little apple spice protein shake afterwards with a little bit of cinnamon. But what else are apples really great for? They also have pectin, which is a type of fiber that helps to bind onto cholesterol and decrease cholesterol levels. Yes, you do want to make sure that those are in a balanced range no matter who you are. Particularly, interestingly enough, LDL levels tend to increase when your hormones are off because estrogen is responsible for really modifying and balancing that, as well as progesterone is good for increasing HDL levels. And then it's also elevated when there's some sort of inflammatory process that's going on too. So you want to make sure that you're balancing those out. But it's also a good source of, speaking of fiber, great source of prebiotic fiber. And what exactly is prebiotic fiber? So this is direct food for the good little microbes in your gut. You want to keep those little guys happy because they're important for producing digestive enzymes, which is going to help you digest and assimilate your nutrients properly so that they're delivered properly to your organs and to your muscles so that you're able to run, you're able to train, and you're able to recover properly. They're important for producing B vitamins such as biotin, which is very important for your hair, skin, and nails. They are very important for crowding out any pathogens that come in, so important for immunity. They produce about 90 to 95% of your serotonin in your body. Yep, that's right. So if your gut is off, you're not going to be a very happy camper. And I think I pretty much covered all of those, the really big ones. So digestive enzymes going to help you to increase your immunity, improve B vitamin production as well. Oh yes, and they actually create a compound called butyrate, and butyrate helps to protect the intestinal lining, so it prevents any sort of holes that come into the intestinal lining. This is better known as leaky gut. This is very, very common in endurance athletes because what happens is they're stressing their body out so much, and the body actually tends to grab things from the stomach and the intestines first. So very common that endurance athletes actually do have gut issues because of that. So it's really important that your gut microbiota is intact and it's happy so that you are recovering properly and you're training properly and that you're not going to be reacting to any proteins escaping in the bloodstream and then creating a lot of different food sensitivities. So with that as well, other good sources of prebiotic fibers are oats, bananas, Jerusalem artichokes, onions, and garlic. And a lot of those we're going to be using in our recipe today. Yay! So what I'm going to be making today, very, very simple dish. I don't want to even say very healthy, but right now I'm staying away from gluten because gluten can tend to be inflammatory for those that are really sensitive, particularly if it's non-organic. They do spray Roundup on it, which can make a person even more sensitive, let alone a lot of the wheat is GMOs. So what I'm doing right now is I have some gluten-free oats. I'm going to be grinding that down into an oat flour, and we're going to be using that for pancakes. Yay! Plus, the oats also have that prebiotic fiber. And then usually the recipe calls for applesauce, Right now, there's citric acid in a lot of the apple sauces. I'm a little sensitive to it, so we're gonna replace it with banana, a little bit of banana. That's gonna give it a little extra sweetness too. All right, so then we will go into it. This is going to be an excellent staple for you, especially for recovery, for training. You can even have it beforehand, or why not? Apple pancakes after a long morning run and enjoying the fall weather. Oh my gosh, that sounds absolutely amazing. All right, with that in mind, I'm going to go into the recipe that we're going to be making today. So these are apple spice oat, I'll just say oat flour pancakes. So we have our gluten-free oats here. I like Bob's Red Mill, but I also like 1 Degree Organic too. That is sprouted, and that is, well, it's sprouted. So that basically makes it more digestible, and it breaks down the phytic acid. That makes iron, zinc, and calcium more absorbable in your body. Now we have my banana here. I'm going to cut that banana in half. That's going to be equivalent to about half a cup of the applesauce that I was telling you. We have some, I love this brand, this Rise Brewing Company. It's organic oat milk. It does have a little bit of sunflower oil in it, but it's organic oats, organic sunflower oil, and sea salt and water, and that's it. And it tastes absolutely delicious. So you want to make sure you have about 3/4. We're going to be using about 3/4 of a cup of non-dairy milk. So any sort of non-dairy milk that you have in there. We're going to have some baking soda that we're going to use. So that's going to obviously help the pancakes to rise. We have a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. I really like pink Himalayan sea salt because it doesn't only have sodium in it, but it has a lot of about 84 different microminerals in there as well. So it's really beneficial for you. We've got our organic egg. Yay! I love eggs because eggs can actually be very beneficial for a detox because of the sulfur compounds that it has in it. Also, it's a good source of lecithin, which is in the yolk, and lecithin helps with brain power. So actually, eggs are a great brain food if you're not sensitive to them. We also have some cinnamon, and cinnamon is really good for insulin sensitivity. So another thing that happens when you're super stressed out is that your cells get a little less insulin sensitive. So it's because of the little gradual increase in inflammation as well. So cinnamon actually helps you to become a little bit more insulin sensitive. Plus, it's absolutely delicious. And it's an adaptogenic spice too. So it helps your system to kind of calm down. And usually when you're stressed, all the processes are going really, really fast. So this calms your system down and helps you to adapt to the stressors that are coming from the outside and normalize everything. And that really helps with immunity, that helps with digestion, that helps with overall health as well. I commonly recommend adaptogenic spices and adaptogens to my athletes. So cinnamon it is. I think that I covered everything. So we are going to start the recipe. All right, so what you want to do first, you can buy oat flour, but you can make your own oat flour, and that's what we're going to do right now. So we're going to take a cup of these oats. We're just going to put them in here in a blender. So you are going to need a blender. And you can just put that aside because I know that it looks a little crowded over here. Put that on, and then I'm just going to pulse it. You want to make sure that the flour is very fine. I'm just making sure it's very fine. So that's why you want to pulse. Okay. Right, now you're going to take this out, but I recommend, so it does fly up into the lid usually, so you just want to pat that down a little bit or else you're going to get a little oof. flour powder, should I say, all over. All right, place it aside. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add the dry ingredients to this. So this recipe calls for 2 teaspoons of baking soda. So 1, make sure that you level it off. Good, and 2. Okay. We got that there, just putting those things aside. I'm gonna have a dash of sea salt. All right, and then maybe 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. I love cinnamon. For all intents and purposes, I will do a teaspoon because that's what my recipe calls for. But I can do up to 2. All right, so I'm gonna pulse all those together again. And now what you're going to do is you're going to add the wet ingredients to this. So that's going to be the eggs, and that's going to be the banana, and that's also going to be the non-dairy milk. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm putting everything aside that I don't need. I'm going to put the egg in there. So crack an egg. Got that. And then we're going to do 3/4 of a cup of non-dairy milk. This is seriously the best non-dairy milk. Rise Brewing Company, organic too. So good. All right, so make sure you have a level 3/4 of a cup in here. All right, you're gonna pour that right in. All right. Put the lid on that. When you have limited space, just push things aside. All right, we're gonna cut this banana in half. Banana to that. Okay. All right, that's gonna give it a little thickness too. All right. Now, I told you before, there's a little powder. So you wanna make sure, apparently I didn't do a very good job at tapping that. All right, now you're just going to mix all of these. All right, now what we're gonna do, I'm not gonna keep it in a blender, so make sure that you do have a bowl. I'm going to pour this out into the bowl. You're gonna wanna let it sit just for a little bit. Now, if you don't wanna let it sit, you can add a little flaxseed in there and it's gonna thicken it a little bit. Or to the recipe, you can actually add some chia seeds in there and actually they start to gelatinize and that makes it thicker as well. So I'm just gonna pour this in here. Okay, that looks good. Get a little extra in there. Okay, so make sure you get a spatula and get the bottom. I'm actually going to take this out. I'm going over to the sink. Okay, I'm gonna get the rest of this out. All right, it appears the blender did not get everything, so make sure that you mix everything together. Okay. This is so delicious. I'm so excited about these. All right, well, this will be great because you want to put these things aside anyway. You're not going to need them anymore. So here we go. Put that aside. that side over here. Now what we're going to do is we are going to turn on the stove to about medium high as we get the apple prepared. We're going to need the pig. Okay, I call it the pig because it's my pig spatula. Does anybody else have a cute little spatula that they use? Does anybody have a pig spatula? We could be pig friends. Okay. All right, so move the blender. Just move it out of the way. All right. This is gonna give the stove a little bit of time to be able to heat up. So now I'm just gonna place it aside. As I said, it's gonna take a little time to thicken up a little bit. If it does get a little runny, as I said, you can add a little bit of flaxseed in there as well, and that's adding a little extra fiber, so it might not be bad. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one apple. I like this particular apple cutter because it makes it a little bit smaller. Just gonna take an apple, we're gonna core it. So press down. Take out the core. That, like I said, move all the things to the side that we don't need anymore. Okay. Stuff. All right, now what we're gonna do, I like to cut it in little itty bitty pieces. So that's what we're gonna do. Now, sometimes I don't use the whole apple. You just want to gauge it a little bit, unless if you put extra apples in there, they could be little apple fritters, and that would be really good. So I'm going to put some of this in here to see how it comes out. So I'm going to mix them together. Yeah, this one's going to be able to use. Okay, I'm going to cut the apples up. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take about a tablespoon of coconut oil. I have my tablespoon right here. Oh, apparently it's a little hot in here. All right, and we're just going to put it right on the pan. Now what we're going to do, I can probably put the pig aside. I might need it. Okay. Mix all that together. Side. All right. I'm going to take 1/4 cup at a time. And then put it right on here. Apparently this is taking a little bit longer to heat up than I thought. Turn up the heat a little bit. All right, so usually the first ones, the heat's going to be up a little bit higher, and then you can turn it down, and the pancakes are going to be actually cooking a lot faster. So again, I really like these because there's 2 sources of prebiotic fiber in here. So there's the oats and there's the apples. Obviously, using a seasonal staple. These can also be used as a staple on the detox as well. If you don't want to put the egg in there, you can replace it with I have the applesauce in there, but you can replace it with flax, and I said the chia seeds as well, because that helps to bind everything. And you might want to add just a little tiny bit more of either the banana or the apple sauce if you use that. Okay. There we go. Okay. Perfect. All right, they are cooking. Gonna move the oil around. Now I'm going to teach you a little trick. This is going to help you cook them faster. You want to make sure, put a lid on. Now you're going to cook them until this top starts bubbling, and that's when you're going to get a spatula. And you're just going to flip them. So it takes about maybe 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and then you're just going to transfer them to a nice little plate, and then there you go. You have your wonderful pancakes for post-workout or post-run or post-ride, and a nice little seasonal dish as well. So with that in mind, I am going to get a plate, which is back here, so that I can transfer them. Also, I do want to mention that coconut oil is very good for high heat cooking, and it's also an antimicrobial. So it's going to be great for your immune system during this time, especially because it is getting a little bit colder out. I love coconut oil. So coconut oil, avocado oil is also very good for high heat cooking, and grass-fed butter. Who doesn't like grass-fed butter, right? All right, so now those are looking good. They're looking puffy. We're going to just get on the bottom and be very careful flipping them. These look delicious. Okay, there we go. And get the other one. That guy's got a little stuff on the side. Okay. And voila, we have some apple pancakes. All right, with that in mind, I'm going to let these just cook a little bit longer. So, recap of today. Apples are one of the best foods for athletes. Why is that? Well, A, it's in season now, so it's at its nutrient peak. When things are at their nutrient peak, then that's going to help with recovery, and that's going to help with training, because those nutrients are going to be delivered down to the muscles and to your organs as well, and also to your brain. So that's really important too, because sleep is really important. Apples are really great for antioxidants, particularly proanthocyanidins, which help to clear out the cancer-causing components in your body. It helps with ways to liver detoxification. And it's also a great source of quercetin. So as I was saying, I read a little bit from that study that female athletes that were supplemented 500 milligrams of quercetin for about 2 weeks, they increased their running time, and then they also decreased lactic acid levels. So they were recovering much better as well. Great source of pectin, which actually helps to decrease cholesterol levels. And it also is a great source of prebiotic fiber, which helps to feed beneficial bacteria in your gut, which is very important for endurance athletes because gut health tends to be an issue. You want these balanced because it creates digestive enzymes, B vitamins, compound called butyrate that helps to keep your intestines intact as well. And oh yeah, 95% of your serotonin. That's important. All right, with that in mind, also, I am Drew Mulvey. I am a certified dietitian nutritionist. I am a board certified nutrition specialist. I am a LEAP therapist, so certified LEAP therapist, which is a specific food sensitivity protocol based off of mediator release testing. Sorry, I need to take these off and I need to add the other ones on before they start to burn. Look at how pretty they look. All right, I am a precision nutrition level 1 coach, and I'm also a certified personal trainer, which I train in town. And I work with overachieving athletic females to help increase energy and stamina by balancing hormones, improving their gut health, preventing or managing symptoms of autoimmunity, and really improving their relationship with food so that they see it as fuel and they see it as fun. I mean, look at that. We just made pancakes. How much more fun can you get than pancakes? And now, also, I do want to say, I am going to be running a 6-week course called Food for Performance for Female Athletes. I'm going to be covering things like that. So foods that are important for you for your athletic performance, some supplements that are going to be beneficial for you, and also their food components as well, so that you can use them interchangeably. You're going to learn about hormones and why they're so important for athletic performance, let alone how to balance them and how to use food to balance them. I was talking about detox today, so we're going to be talking about detox and why that's so important for athletic performance. And then we're going to try to break the diet culture. We're going to figure out what your own unique nutritional needs are with this course. It is a great course. Honestly, it's a great price too. So it's going to be only $297 for the, excuse me, for October. And then after that, it's going to be $597. These are all the tools that I use to be able to get my athletic performance back and what I've been doing now. So I want to bring that to all the female athletes. So definitely sign up today. I'm going to be putting the link continuously in my stories. And then the link is also in my bio. So if that sounds like you and you really want to take your athletic performance to a new level, sign up for this course. It is going to be absolutely amazing. I'm so excited that I'm finally launching it. All right, with that in mind, I'm going to finish up these pancakes because they are looking lovely. Oh, I've got a little guy in there that he's going to be a special one. All right, with that in mind, everybody, thank you so much for joining today, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care.